G'day guys and gal. The Grey Knights are paragons of pride and nobility, hand-picked, wildly powerful demon hunters. They have time and time again saved a shizen load of people via the virtue of being the only non-Primarch dudes that can reliably banish demon Primarchs. So of course Abaddon had to capture one of the founding members and then do everything in his power to torture, break and humiliate him. God damn it, Abaddon. So rude, bro. But how did this whole debacle come about? Who is this founding member? And will he be the first official Grey Knight to fall to chaos? Are questions you'll need to watch this video to find the answer to. Before we get started, as promised, the weekly major mini release schedule continues, this time with the absolutely awesome Grey Slayer. A demon hunter across any dimension, the Grey Slayer is utterly devoted to the destruction of hell in all its forms. This model is honestly one of my favorites who have ever produced over here at Major Minis. It's full of Easter eggs, nods to various lores, and awesome details. The dude also comes with two weapon variants, both the sword and the axe, as well as his signature demon slaying shotgun. A fantastic model to add to your demon hunters, build a demon hunter army around, or just have them to paint and then flex on your mates how much more awesome he is than any of their models. Also comes with a fleshy demonic custom 32mm base, as where the hell else would this dude be? If you bundle him with a few of the other major minis like the Shadow Warden, Son of Iron, or whatever, and spend over $75 US, you'll get shipping completely free. Link is below. Today we'll go over the horrific fate of Epimetheus, a founder of the Grey Knights. Also, quick shout out to Alex Christie, whom I commissioned this awesome but also grim as hell artwork of Epimetheus and Abaddon for this thumbnail art. Should give a good idea of how bad things got for old mate. Let's get into it. Before we truly appreciate the grimness of Epimetheus' fate, first we have to know who this bloke is and how he came to be a founding Grey Knight. For a bit of a lore lesson, the Grey Knights were designed as a fail-safe / contingency plan if the Emperor was to fall during the heresy, which he did. He knew there had to be something to combat the demonic threat with him no longer around, especially the demon Primarchs, so he created a new more powerful gene seed tied directly to himself, that Malcador then implanted into various outstanding space marines that were gathered during the heresy across all legions, both loyalist and traitor. He then hid these Grey Knights in a pocket dimension to give them time to avoid the heresy and build up their strength, creating the Order of the Grey Knights who have been kicking ass ever since. As for who Epimetheus is, the pretentious bastard has never told anyone his true name or who he was before his ascension into the Grey Knights. However, we do know that he was a Dark Angel. This gives us two choices. The obvious choice is that he was a Dark Angel called Nemean, a Terran-born Dark Angel whose battle record extends all the way to the Rangdang Xenocides, a war where it seemed as if the Dark Angels more or less killed Cthulhu. During the heresy, Nemean broke off from the Legion with a number of his brothers and formed a Black Shield warband called the Dark Brotherhood. They sought to create an independent kingdom away from the war and begun purging the air of Xenos, hostile humans and whatnot. Eventually the Alpha Legion attacked them, however Nemean was so crafty that he was able to outwit and outplay the Alpha Legion for years before Nathaniel Garro finally arrived and offered him a choice to join Malcador's Knights Errant. Nemean asked what happened to the lion, Garro told him he didn't know. As one of Malcador's Knights Errant, Nemean underwent a number of missions before the Siege of Terra. The dude was stacked. He had extremely powerful power armor that used Dark Age of Technology gizmos, as well as him wielding a fucking power flaming flambard, which is metal as hell. Just before the siege kicked off, Malcador sent most of his Knights Errant to the moon of Titan to found the Grey Knight Order. However, some he kept on Terra to fight in the siege, like Garro. Nemean was also said to have stayed and died fighting on the walls of the palace, but with such an unceremonious end to such a legendary character, it's more likely this was just to fake his death, as in reality, he probably went to Titan to help found the Grey Knights and took the mantle of Epimetheus. The less likely but more spicy identity for Epimetheus is Zahariel, a fallen Dark Angel who actually drank that Chaos Kool-Aid. Zahariel was a powerful psycho with mixed loyalties. He was a fallen angel, but he also helped Corswain reignite the Astronomicon and defended it from the traitors. It could be that he went on to be inducted into the Grey Knights as a reward, his previous name and chaotic past being expunged, which is why he never speaks about it. As cool as this would be though, it's highly unlikely. Zahariel was last seen fighting Corswain on Caliban as it broke apart, and the leading theory is that Corswain kills Zahariel, who was Cypher, and then takes the mantle of Cypher to pursue some convoluted goal that overall would somehow help the loyalists. That's a showdown I need to see and a hell of a plot twist that needs to be concluded. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Epimetheus was here to fuck. Little did he know, he would be the one getting fucked. Epimetheus led the Grey Knights into a number of glorious victories during the Scouring, but his true test would come on the planet of Pythos, a super corrupted world that had a big ass warp portal on it. Those that have read The Damnation of Pythos will know how much of a bitch this world was. Hundreds of Grey Knights died, but eventually the demon army was crushed. However, the warp portal could not be truly closed, so it was instead sealed, and Epimetheus volunteered to stay behind on the world in stasis, protecting it. In the current setting, Abaddon heard of Pythos and its spicy warp portal and decided to go open it. Epimetheus awoke from stasis to protect it, and despite putting up a good showing, like the dude clapped a Lord of Change, he was ambushed and taken prisoner by Abaddon. Here's where shit gets nasty. Some of what Abaddon would do to Epimetheus would make sense, like removing his gene seed and giving it to Fabius Bile in order to secure Fabius's loyalty and also help uncover any weakness the Grey Knights may have, or as grim as it was, nailing a blank to Epimetheus's back so that he couldn't use his psychic abilities. But a lot of the other torturing was just mean-spirited and didn't make much sense. For example, his black carapace was removed, as well as his eyes and tongues getting removed, which doesn't make sense since Abaddon was trying to interrogate the Grey Knight, and it's hard to interrogate someone that cannot speak. Not even psychically, because he has a fucking gimp-ass blank stapled to him. To make matters worse, his mouth and eyes were soon shut with demonic sinew, so that it would always hurt and burn. So yeah, pretty fucking horrific. Epimetheus was in so much agony that he was genuinely concerned that he would be the first Grey Knight to break and fall to chaos. See, the thing about Grey Knights is that they aren't actually incorruptible. They are just super anti-chaos, and they implement a shitload of protocols to resist corruption. But they do this as they need to. Contrast this with a custodian who could fuck a keeper of secrets without any drama or risk of corruption, and hopefully you see what I mean. Something Abaddon wished to learn from Epimetheus is the location of the other founding members of the Grey Knights, or what happened to them, which is a fair question I'd also love to know, especially what happened to Janus. Dude was a shard of Magnus after all. In truth, the lore regarding the Grey Knight founders is super duper sparse. More than likely we'll get something filled in during the inevitable Scouring series that will come after the Heresy, but yeah, we literally know nothing about the founders except Epimetheus, as well as the fact that all founders are currently dead or MIA. If you're wondering why Epimetheus was never rescued or any attempt to rescue has ever been made, it's because they don't even know he is alive. Records show that Epimetheus died on Pythos, so why would they question that 10,000 years later? As for what becomes of Epimetheus, it seems as if he was handed over to Fulgrim in order to gain the favor of the Emperor's Children's Primarch by Abaddon. Fulgrim in turn seems to want to use Epimetheus as a vessel to implant an avatar of Slaanesh into, which would be a fate 1,000 times worse than what Epimetheus has already had to endure already. So overall, yeah man, fucking sucks to suck. It's unlikely we'll see this plotline eventuate further, as the author who wrote about Epimetheus hasn't written for Black Library in a decade. There's a general rule amongst the authors that whenever someone creates a unique sub-character or subplot, no other writer will touch it, which is also the reason why we probably will never see the loyalist clone of Fulgrim again. But needless to say, if Epimetheus isn't already dead, then he's probably begging for it every single day of his miserable existence. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then pick up the Grey Slayer and use him to clap Abaddon's cheeks for doing our boy Epimetheus so badly. Hit the subscribe button and hit the real subscribe button for more horrific content. Join the Discord for more memes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.